Hola amigos y bienvenidos a mi canal. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I have today a box opening and needless to say, this is I think one of the most controversial MGA dolls that I know of personally to date. I also want to say that I am celebrating Hispanic History Month with this package. And so I'm going to try to stay on topic because it's easy for me to get off topic when discussing this doll. I want to say that before anybody comes for me in the comments, I do feel that I am at liberty to speak on this topic as I am of Mexican descent. If you didn't know, now you know. I definitely understand where people are coming from with this doll. My friend Grace at Graceful Dolls, I had been discussing this with her, and you know I was going to hold off on getting this doll, but I decided to go ahead and go for her. And the reason why I was going to, you know, kind of take my time and not get the doll was because of the fact that her price point. And that normally wouldn't bug me, but you know, I had bought Lily Chang, and Lily Chang came with, you know, outfits, and she was also a doll of a certain, you know, ethnic persuasion, and she was done beautifully. I'm just going to make sure that this is all perfectly displayed here for you before I tear into her. But anyway, Lily Chang was a doll that represented her community, and she was done beautifully, and I really, you know, had no problem at her price point. I think she was like $79, which yeah is pricey for a doll, but as I said, Lily Chang came with a beautiful wardrobe and, you know, some wonderful things. So before I get into it, this is Rainbow High, and I know that you've seen this box before. Let me see if I can get my camera to kind of get this whole thing. It's a large box, so do forgive. And this marigold here is, you know, to say that the packaging is done beautifully on this doll would be an understatement. I mean, that was one of the things that everybody can, you know, agree upon, that the presentation of this doll is beautiful. Where the controversy comes in is the basic look of the doll and whether or not she does represent the Day of the Dead or a Katrina, or, you know, just her name. There are a lot of issues that people of culture have with this doll. And that's what, I mean, aside from the price point of the doll, people are really up in arms about her name, which is Maria Garcia. And they think that, you know, for obvious reasons, it's a very, you know, generic name. I personally know a few Maria Garcias, and so it's not a question of whether or not that would be a legitimate name for a Mexican doll or person, but the fact that they gave her just such a general name. Here's the beautiful cover. Here's the side with this gorgeous holographic print. And do forgive my camera work. I know that there are other channels that have done a much better job on the artwork for this doll and the box presentation, but I basically wanted to touch on the fact that as a Mexican American, I embrace her, and I'll tell you why. Looking aside from all the things that people have to say about her in a negative light, we always want representation. We are always looking for representation, and this doll is MGA's representation of Dia de los Muertos doll, which would then be interpreted as a Mexican style doll. Look at this. Look at this. Just gorgeous. It lights up. She's got her little Mexican hat. She's got her corona with the roses, which everybody took exception to those roses because they believed that they should have been more of the marigold, but I'll get into that later. I mean, it's easy for me to get off topic with this and all of, as I said, all of the controversy about her, the fact that her dress isn't a very indigenous style dress. It's more of they consider it a flamenco dress, a Spanish style dress with the rosettes at the bottom and the rosettes here. To me, she is more of a Catrina, which is also in keeping with, a sugar skull type of a dame, a lady of a certain caliber, but still in ethnic keeping. They had a problem with the purple hair and the makeup. So many things that people wanted to pick apart with this doll. But what we have to remember is it's MGA's interpretation, and it is their basic acknowledgement of a culture. And we're always, as I say, in a culture looking for representation. We have it. So, it's easy to pick things apart about it. And I'll show you a little bit of this cover art as well. It reminds me very much of like an ofrenda. It's beautiful. You can display your doll in front of it. And, if you're looking for real details on this doll and its packaging, you can go and visit a lot of other channels that can get into that. I'm just going to touch lightly on where I stand on the controversy of her and why I decided to go and get her anyway at the very expensive price point. I think she cost me in total like $150 and some odd cents after taxes and shipping and all that was said and done. She is a gorgeous doll. She is packaged beautifully. And you'll have to forgive me as I say, I can't really get into the packaging right now. I can try. Let me see. I can try my best. But I just kind of want to stay on topic here. And as to why that I felt okay to go ahead and purchase her. I could have waited till she went on sale. And, I could have, been like a lot of people out there and picked her apart and been brutal about her not having appropriate clothing or hair color, things of that nature. But I just want to say that I'm thankful to MGA for representing us at all. And that might sound like I'm settling or that, I'm going to take what crumbs they give me. No, I see that they did put a lot of work into this doll. They might not have gotten it, right, but they did absolutely try to bring us a beautiful, beautiful doll and the packaging. And yeah, we didn't get a second look, but I think they put so much work into this ofrenda style box and the different ways that we can, look at this doll, view this doll, share this doll. It really, it speaks to MGA and the quality of their work. I mean, we know that they do bring it in terms of, sharing dolls with us and bringing dolls to us that are gorgeous, gorgeous dolls. We know that. And I am going to say, honestly, I think that I could speak on this as a Mexican American. This does not offend me. Her name does not offend me. I know plenty of Maria Garcias. Yeah, we could have gotten a different name for her, but I mean, that's not really important to me. The dress, I actually love the red dress. I'm going to spout off a little bit on Mattel. Mattel has done their versions of Dia de los Muertos, and quite frankly, I wasn't that impressed with their screening and the look of their overall faces. I was, however, excited to try and get the Mattel signature collectible and limited edition Dia de los Muertos doll, but she went very, very, very quickly. I think like within, a couple of minutes she was gone. And a lot of collectors were really, really sad about that. Even still, with all that going, she was at $100 price point, which was like, a $40 difference from this doll. And it was a Barbie. And her dress was more of a mariachi style dress, if you ask me. Her face screening was okay. To cause that kind of crazy frenzy for their collectors, especially the Hispanic collectors, trying to get that doll. And now, she's for an astronomical price on the secondary market. I thought that MGA did a fabulous job in comparison. I think that this doll, compared to the Mattel Dia de los Muertos Barbies for this year, and maybe even years past, I really haven't honestly been that impressed with their face screening or their paint for that matter. I know a lot of people take exception to her dark eyes and the way they left that open and the way they didn't complete that. But to me, this is also in keeping with, it's not a literal Dia de los Muertos sugar skull type of thing. I think it's more of a fusion. I'm looking at more of a masquerade, more of an homage, let's say. And, she's got her little sugar skull little bag over here. And there's some beautiful details. I'm not mad at the purple hair. I mean, we could pick things apart, and as a community, I mean, we're fighting over, we're Latinos, Hispanics, Mexican, Indigenous. There's a lot of things going on, and a lot of, controversy as a whole, and I think as a community, I just am happy and grateful for representation of any kind. We're always looking for that and looking for that acknowledgement, and then we get it and we just pick it apart when really it's a doll, and it's just someone's interpretation of a Dia de los Muertos doll. She is by no means the be all and end all, but I'll tell you this, as I said, in comparison to Barbie and the other dolls, she to me is beautiful. I'm looking at the blushing that they did on the face paint as well. There are so many things to love about her. The details in the hat, and just the stand and the overall presentation. I'm not mad that I didn't get a second look. Honestly, I don't think I'd want to take the trouble to change her out of this look. And as a people, we just don't need to be divided. I think we should just come together and really not come for MGA. I think they really did a beautiful job. They gave us a gorgeous product. And at the end of the day, if you don't like her, don't buy her. As I was telling my friend Grace, I was having an issue with the price point, and I thought I'd wait till she went on sale. But I wanted to show my support of this doll after so many people were coming for her, and looking at what I was going to spend on that Barbie, $100, and everybody in a frenzy about that. And I don't think she was even half as pretty as this doll is here, with all of her little bells and whistles and her gorgeous, attire. Say what you want about it. I love this skeleton, little lacy netting illusion underneath. And yeah, I'm sure you could take the dress off and do all kinds of things with her. But I don't know that I'd want to do that. She's a beautiful representation. I love the corona. I love the roses. I love roses. Guess what? I don't want to see marigolds all the time. I see marigolds. Marigolds are very much a representation of Dia de los Muertos. It's nice to have roses. And if you recall, there is a song where there's a woman, and it's during the festival of Dia de los Muertos. And what is she selling? Rosas para los muertos. Roses for the dead. So, you know what? Take what you will. I love the corazon. I love the heart here. We have representation. We have a beautiful doll with a very, very Hispanic name, Maria Garcia. It doesn't get more Hispanic than that. I don't know what people were looking for. Something a little less Hispanic. Then what? It defeats the purpose, in my opinion. You can come for me in the comments, but I'm saying, as a person of Mexican culture, I'm okay with this. I'm vibing with this. I have no issues with her. I understand it's just a representation, and I love this doll. And yes, please feel free to go visit other channels. They do a much better in-depth detail look. I just wanted to hit the points here for Hispanic Heritage Month and acknowledge our people. And that's it. You know what? We've got so much infighting about everything else as to what we're called and what we want to be identified as. This, to me, is a beautiful doll. Point blank, end of story. I love her. Yet the price point hurts a little bit. I didn't know that I wanted to wait for that sale price. She's gorgeous. And as I said, if you were willing to drop $100 on that Barbie, in the first 2 minutes of her going off and willing to spend the outrageous secondary pricing on her. To me, this doll represents all of that cost. She's just like, she paid the cost to be the boss, okay? She is beautiful. And yeah, sometimes my customer service voice, like I like to say, graduated from Harvard, but the real truth of the matter is my street, my real lingo with my friends is definitely urban. And so, it's much like my Spanish. When I'm with my Spanish people, I'm gonna pepper it with some, real, you know, Mexican slang, as you say. But when I have to, I bring it. And I try to be as positive and professional as possible. But I'm just going to call it what it is. She's a beautiful doll. Take it or leave it. And props to MGA. I'm sorry that so many people have been coming for you, especially in our community. And when we look for representation and we don't really see it everywhere, we do get it. We want to tear it down. I'm not for that. So anyway, I love the doll, and I hope you love her too. So thank you, and thanks for watching. Bye.